Hey everyone, and welcome to Sutton Place. Today I'm going to be taking you on a full walking tour, but we're going to be taking a different route. What you're looking at right now is the 59th Street Bridge, and we are overlooking the brand new East River Esplanade. You can see the skyline of Long Island City all the way out to downtown Brooklyn. This is just an unbelievable new addition to the east side of Manhattan. It's this beautiful elevated walkway, biking path, with the hopes that one day it goes all the way around the entire island of Manhattan. We're going to be talking about some of the most notable buildings right here in Sutton Place. Should be a little bit exciting today because we are getting close to the UN General Assembly. If you think about neighborhoods like Beekman Place, also Sutton Place, you could also probably include neighborhoods like Murray Hill into this conversation. Due to the close proximity to the United Nations, there's a lot of politicians, both domestically and abroad, that choose to call these three neighborhoods home. You'll see a lot of consulates, also due to the close proximity of the neighborhood. And it doesn't hurt to have these really gorgeous views. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, here's another thing. A lot of tourists, when they come to New York City, they're just enamored with, the stereotypical New York tourist attractions like Times Square, Broadway, and the like. And I think that's fine, but there's so much more that New York City and Manhattan have to offer. So hopefully this walking tour will open your eyes to some additional places that maybe you and your family would want to visit. It's quite unique. Beautiful architecture pretty much everywhere you look. Great views over the East River. You can see one of the NYPD tugboats going by. And here you have a massive barge with some shipping containers on top. Now this big extended platform where we're standing, it connects downtown to the main walking, or I should say on the lower level, which is the main walking and the running path. I'll zoom in on this building right here. That is Rockefeller University. And the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, the Astors, the Morgans, were some of the main families that helped build Sutton Place, Beekman Place, Murray Hill, all those neighborhoods that are our favorites. The classic old money wealth in New York City. You could also include the Astors and the Fricks. This is the new Schwartzman Medical Center. So if you were to make a right here and go down this ramp, it'll take you to the walking path, the running path, and the biking path, and onto the new East River Greenway. But for the sake of today's video, we're going to be walking directly under the 59th Street Bridge and exploring New York City's Sutton Place. I was thinking about this the other day, and for some historical context, the real estate values have actually fallen quite significantly in Sutton Place. But my bet is that new additions such as the East River Greenway, East River Esplanade, those are huge additions that I believe are going to work to revitalize the neighborhood. Although, yes, it's true that Sutton Place has a high concentration of co-ops as opposed to condos, A lot of the buildings are lacking in those amenities that all the youngsters like. I still think it's a great neighborhood, even though it's very far over on the east side of Manhattan. Usually things trend in the city. One year Tribeca will be fashionable, the next year the West Village will take over and be super fashionable. So my bet is that we'll have a little bit of a boost for New York City's Sutton Place. If you look all the way over to the west side of Manhattan, you'll see some of the buildings on New York City's Billionaires Row. You can see the spire of the Steinway Tower. You could also see the spire of Central Park Tower. And as I point the camera towards the sky, we have these really cool views of the tram. We'll now make a left and head uptown. This is York Avenue, by the way. York Avenue and 60th Street. This is looking uptown. Traffic appears to be extremely heavy today. We'll start to head uptown. This big dome-looking thing that you see under the 59th Street Bridge is the Sutton Tennis Club. You can see the top of the dome, all the rust that's been falling off the bridge, sticking on the tennis club there. Quickly looking over towards the east side, or the west side, but it is on the east side. That's 432 Park Avenue. That's one of the buildings on New York City's Billionaires Road developed by Harry Macklowe. Unique views all over the place. This is 30 Sutton Place. Beautiful building. And of course, you can't forget all these townhomes here. You're going to see one of my favorite buildings by Rosario Candela. For those of you who don't know, Rosario Candela was an Italian-American architect that was most famous during the 1920s. You could consider the Roaring 20s all the way leading up into 1929 when you had the major stock market crash. Well, Rosario Candela was an amazing architect because not only was the facades of the buildings that he was on stunning, but what really stole the show was the interiors. Rosario Candela was famous for building what you would call mansions in the sky. So very, very expansive floor plans, really grand foyers, kind of brought that townhouse living into high-rise apartments. So 1 Sutton Place. Wow, look at this building, stunning. Also a few other buildings like 740 Park. Are some of the most famous works of Rosario Candela. John D. Rockefeller used to own the largest apartment at 740 Park. Across the street and take a look at some of these gorgeous townhomes, which, by the way, just recently went under renovation. This is 6 Sutton Square. I've showed this door before, but just look at the detail on the door. I've highlighted this one once before. But just so stunning to be able to walk outside of your townhome, have those great views over the East River, and look right at the 59th Street Bridge. Here you have your private driveway and those big bay windows that, of course, look out into your private backyard and over the East River. The Morgans also had, well, I should say, played a very big role in the revitalization of Sutton Place by acquiring a lot of these townhomes and solidifying the neighborhood for, at the time, you could call the ultra wealthy. Looking over to our right, it's an interesting juxtaposition as you see Sutton Tower. Sutton Tower is one of those ultra-luxury condominiums, but I actually really like it, and I'll tell you why. And it's because one of my favorite, more modernist architects, Thomas Hansen, is on that project, and I think he did a fantastic job. Thomas Hansen also did the interiors at 157 West 57th Street. We'll go ahead and check out Sutton Place Park. See all the pigeons here. It's actually kind of funny. It's one of the main things I really like about Sutton Place is just the numerous amount of public parks. So if you have a condo here, co-op, rent an apartment, there's definitely no shortage of outdoor space. Very meticulously landscaped as well. This is Riverview Terrace and Sutton Square. I'll give you a close-up view of 16 Again, the vast majority of these have underwent extreme facade restoration. I also like how all the streets are lined with trees. In the autumn, this is going to look really, really nice.
Yeah, as long, do you mind calling me after 6 on Monday?
There's yet another beautiful townhome. You can see in the window here, this person set up their office. You can see that computer screen in the window, looking out over the street. It's very nice. I also really like this unique blue door here too. Okay, we're now on Sutton Place and East 58th Street. All of these homes are really special too. I really like the look of 19 Sutton Place right here. Very unique architecture with the brick facade as opposed to the solid slab. I'll bring you right up to the front door so you can see some of the detail as well as the moldings around it. It's really quite nice. I wonder if those are the original panes of glass. On some of the buildings, I would presume, but perhaps not on all of these. You'll see 2 Sutton Place South. This is another gorgeous building. Check out how unique it looks all the way at the top with those terraces and those balconies. You can really only imagine the great views you'll have overlooking the East River. That's a good shot. The old buildings from 1929 and then the new. buildings that you could say, I guess, are encroaching on the neighborhood. As we leave summer and approach the fall, you can really see how the landscaping is being ripped and replaced. I've been noticing a lot of children, young families moving into the neighborhood, which is great. You can see all the different activities for the young kids. Look at how unique this shot is. You can see just the very top of the 59th Street Bridge over the hedges here. And you'll see they're ripping up all the landscaping and getting ready for the fall and the winter. There you can see 1 Sutton Place South. That's one of Rosario Candela's best works. It's really unfortunate you have all this scaffolding all over it, but the building is quite old. We're talking about the 1920s, so the mandatory facade work has to be done. We also have done an entire series on the architect Emery Roth. So if you're interested in New York City architecture and you want to see some of the most famous buildings in New York City, go ahead and check out our Upper West Side walking tour, where we explored some of the most famous Emery Roth buildings. Now look at how beautiful this is. We are now standing at the main entrance of 1 Sutton Place South. Just a beautiful entrance. It makes it look very, very luxurious. All the limestone. These tall ceiling heights. You almost feel like you're in a Great Gatsby type movie. It's gorgeous. It's great if you have a driver, because right from the street here, if it's raining or something and you're taking a taxi cab home, you could have the taxi or your driver turn right into the driveway, and you're completely covered and protected from the elements, which is great. Not a lot of buildings in Manhattan have that, if any, anymore, especially a lot of the new developments. What do you guys think? That's such an overlooked perk, especially if you're older. The Steinway Tower at 111 West 57th Street has a very similar feature, but the garage doors do come all the way down. I just love it. Let me know what you guys think. I've never showed you this entrance before on the walking tour, but it's a feature of the building that I believe is understated. You'll see a similar thing, but to a smaller degree, on 2 Sutton Place South. Let's go check out 2 Sutton Place South. We'll do a quick compare and contrast of that. Roundabout. We're now in the corner of East 56th Street, 14 Sutton Place South. Again, more beautiful limestone. And one more look at the facade of 1 Sutton Place South, Rosario Candela's apartment. The cityscape views from here are just stunning. I mean, look at that shot. You have the trolley or the tram going over. All of those beautiful row homes and townhomes. And then here's the private driveway of 2 Sutton Place South. I believe more buildings should have these active driveways. It makes it more convenient for residents to get in and out of the apartment while being shielded from the elements. It's really enjoyable just walking the neighborhood of Sutton Place, seeing all the doormen, the staff, standing right outside of the buildings. Really gives it a sense of community. And the landscaping is very well taken care of at every building. Of course, more scaffolding all over the place. But that's par for the course. I really like the brickwork and the masonry over here too. Look at that one little holdout. We're now approaching the corner of First Avenue, and you'll see the Sutton Place wine shop. Now zooming up all the way to Billionaire's Row, you'll see the spire of the Steinway building. And Central Park Tower. We'll go ahead and make a left on First Avenue and head towards 56th Street. Zurich Coffee. This looks like a nice little coffee shop. This is now the corner of East 56th Street and First Avenue. We'll go ahead and make a left. you'll see a lot more residential apartment buildings. Over to the right, you'll have Plaza 400 or 400 East 56th Street. Very quiet over here. Again, I want to point out how nice it is to have these tree-lined streets. I feel like there should be way more trees in Manhattan than there are in very, very select few neighborhoods where you have them. Many of you have pointed out before on some of the walking tours that many of the buildings have fallout shelters. And that is true. Many of the buildings here do have fallout shelters. So if you're ever walking around, pay close attention to the signs on the side of the buildings. We'll probably be passing one here in a moment, but you'll be able to see the sign and it'll clearly say fallout shelter. This is the side of 14 Sutton Place. This is a beautiful building, minus all the scaffolding. And to the right of us is 20 Sutton Place South. And yes, you guessed it, covered in scaffolding as well, unfortunately. This is a very unique view because you can see all the way over to Queens. And then, of course, the beautiful Rosario Candela building here. Looking at it from this angle, it really shows just how much of a monstrosity. It's tremendous. You have 20 Sutton Place South. And coming up, we have the main entrance to the new East River Greenway. From where we're standing right here, if you look all the way in the distance, you can see the skyline of downtown Brooklyn. How cool is that? This is the corner of East 55th Street and Sutton Place South, and you can see the Brooklyn Tower. Pretty amazing. We'll walk past the front of 50 Sutton Place South, and then I'll take you guys into one of the parks, and then finally onto the new East River Greenway. Notice how clean the sidewalks are here, guys. Landscaping meticulous. Sidewalks are sparkling clean. And 50 Sutton Place South has these great balconies. Imagine the views. This is really fantastic. You can see the staff and the doorman come out to greet you immediately. It's great service here. And look at the landscaping again. It's picture perfect. And here we are, East 54th Street. Looking over to our left is the main entrance to the East River Greenway. You'll see this bike lane that will connect directly to the on-ramp. Making for an easy commute from the business district in Midtown Manhattan. If you're working on, let's say, Park Avenue or something like that. Lots of people with their pets and their dogs. I haven't showed you this park yet, so we'll take a quick walk through. This is all brand new, renovated as well. Did a great job on the public space. Brand new benches. I'll quickly take you to 53rd Street, just so you can see some of these stunning homes here. The trees do as best of a job as they can with the noise reduction, but you are right on the highway. really good. Look at those bay windows. You can pretty much see directly into this apartment. But those views must be insane. Look at how nice this is. All right, let's go ahead and merge on here. Dedicated lane for the bikes. Dedicated lane for the pedestrians. Now we're walking over the highway. It's a pretty cool feeling being suspended over the highway like this. Oh man, the fresh air feels good. And there you could see it, that big skyscraper sticking up. That's the United Nations. That's the building we were just looking at with those bay windows. Look at that. I always like pointing out this view right in between the United Nations. You can see the spire of the World Trade Center. right, everyone, if you enjoyed another walking tour of Sutton Place, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.